The air within my command tent is sharp with the chill of dawn, a crispness that brushes against my skin like a gentle touch, awakening me from the fragile threads of sleep. Each morning, the scene unfolds with a serene predictability, yet it is a spectacle I need not grow weary of. Even before the sun unfurls its golden rays upon the world outside, I find myself roused from sleep on my rudimentary cot, nestled among the rough-hewn boards of this temporary sanctuary. The coarse wool blanket slips from my shoulders, its weight replaced by the coolness of the morning. The fabric's rough texture contrasts with the softness of my skin, an ever-present reminder of the armor I will soon don, yet for now it is merely a shield against the night. I lie still for a moment, listening intently to the quiet stirrings of the camp, where the muted sounds of life begin to emerge softly. The distant clink of armor resonates through the air, each metallic note a faint reminder of the day's promise, whispering at the edges of my consciousness like a gentle breeze, ruffling the leaves of a nearby tree. Nearby, the soft snort of a horse punctuates the stillness, a living creature eager for the day's labors, its breath visible in the cold air, a fleeting cloud that dissipates into the dawn. The sound is comfortingly familiar, grounding me further in this reality where duty and purpose intertwine. I inhale deeply, allowing the earthy scent of damp ground to fill my lungs, mingling with the rich aroma of leather that hangs in the air, drying slowly beneath the cool morning. This blend of scents, a symphony of earth and industry, anchors me in the present as I prepare for the march ahead. As I lay there, thoughts of past victories and lost comrades drift through my mind like wisps of fog. The memories flicker brightly, then fade beneath the weight of the moment. I slowly rise from my cot, casting aside the remnants of sleep, the chill seeping deeper into my bones. The world beckons outside, and it is not just the call of duty, but the echo of the bond with my legion. Each breath carries with it the promise of another day spent in pursuit of honor. The ground beneath my feet feels different this morning, the dampness of the earth, a reflection of the sky's uncertainty. I must not dwell on thoughts of the past or futures unseen. With each measured step toward the small basin, stationed on a makeshift table, I steel myself for the day's work. The rough texture of the wooden surface greets my palms as I lean over to splash cold water onto my face, invigorating every nerve ending with a sharp clarity. The icy droplets land like tiny crystals on my skin, and in that bracing chill, I can almost feel warmth flicker in the back of my mind, a memory of sun-baked stones beneath my sandals in Rome. I close my eyes, allowing a fleeting moment of reprieve as I picture the bustling life that thrives in that distant city. I can almost feel the taste of fresh bread from vendors lining the streets, the delightful crunch as I bite into the warm crust, the comforting aroma rising in the air, weaving seamlessly with wafts of incense drifting from sacred temples. The ever-present Tiber carries the sound of laughter, conversations mingling together as a melody of life. But like the fleeting mists of morning, that idyllic scene retreats, leaving me once again with the weight of my current existence. As I dry my face, the damp cloth feels rough against my skin, a grounding sensation that pulls me back to the here and now. I dress deliberately, slipping into my tunic, the fabric brushing against my body like a second skin. As the weight of armor and leather straps settles onto my shoulders, its familiar heft grounds me further in this reality. Each clip and fastenment resounds like an affirmation, a reminder that I am not merely a bystander, but a leader whose decisions ripple through the lives of many. The first glimmers of light breach the edges of my tent, urging me forward as a new day unfurls before me. Stepping to my campaign desk, I encounter the tools of my endeavor, the maps laid out like territories upon a chessboard, inked with the promise of knowledge. Each symbol and marking seems to conspire with my mind, inviting me to dream up our route through the dense woods. Invigorated by the dawning light, I allow myself to explore the terrain a little further, envisioning the lush forests that rise like sentinels to meet the clouds above, and rivers winding like serpents across the plains. Listening now to the camp outside as the soldiers gradually begin their morning routines, the rhythm of their movements underscores my thoughts. With the dawn fully unfurling its brilliance across the sky, I gather my breath, letting thoughts of battle and conquest blend seamlessly into the meditative act of preparation. I am ready for the day ahead, prepared to face whatever challenges it may hold, but for now, I breathe in the tranquility that the dawn brings, a moment of calm before the ordered chaos of our march, a solitary promise woven into the tapestry of time. Rising, I approach the small basin stationed on a makeshift table. The water glistens in the morning light that begins to seep through the tent's canvas, promising a day filled with purpose. I dip my fingers into the basin, the coldness biting against my skin as I splash it onto my face. The shock of the chill invigorates every nerve ending, awakening my senses and clearing away the remnants of sleep that cling to me like the soft wool blanket I just shed. In the serene moment, my mind finds a soothing balance amidst the crescendo of sounds seeping into the tent. The distant murmur of my men softly conversing, punctuated by the occasional clattering of gear, harmonizes into a comfortable backdrop, a reminder that we are not merely individuals, but a collective bound by duty and intent. The flicker of a flame outside draws my eye, the dancing light casting flicking shadows upon the linen walls, as if urging me to embrace the day. As the bracing chill courses through me, I revel in the sensations that anchor my thoughts. This discomfort is fleeting yet poignant, drawing forth a memory, a flicker of warmth beneath the sun in Rome. My mind wanders as I focus on the past, the corners of my mouth rising slightly as I recall the vibrancy of life in that city, where the rhythm of humanity thrummed like a heartbeat around me. I can almost feel the sun-baked stones of the Forum beneath my sandals, their warmth seeping into my feet as I walked amidst traders and scholars alike. The nostalgia weaves through my senses, it becomes more vivid with each breath I take. I remember the sweet aroma of fresh bread wafting from the vendors lining the streets, the crusty loaves glistening as they temptively beckon passers-by. I can almost taste the warm crust breaking between my fingers, the tang of the bread mingling with the complex weave of incense that mingled in the air. The aroma, both familiar and evocative, forms a blanket of comfort within the bustling chaos. In my mind's eye, the ever-present Tiber flows leisurely nearby, swirling and eddying with memories like the waters of time carrying stories of ancient days. I can almost hear the shimmering ripples, lapping against the stones, as the sound intertwines with the laughter and shouts of street children playing. Their joy a stark reminder of innocence amidst the pressures of life. This stark contrast momentarily pulls my thoughts from the grim reality of battle and conquest. I allow the memories to wash over me like the sun's embrace, a warm balm against the different pangs of duty. Yet, just as I begin to lose myself in that sun-soaked reverie, a gentle reminder stirs within me. The sound of a soldier's armor clanking outside snatches my attention back to the present. I pause for a moment longer at the basin, feeling the droplets of water cling momentarily before falling heavy into the vessel below. As the last splash sends ripples across the surface, I gather my resolve, reassuring myself that amidst the tasks of the day, there is still solace to be found in these fleeting moments. The memory, now like a cherished artifact, glows softly in the corners of my mind. I know I will return to it, perhaps in a quieter moment later, but now my duty beckons. I dry my face with a cloth, feeling the fibers scratch against my skin, and reorient myself toward the rigors of the day. The air within my tent is charged with potential, even the quiet seems to hum. I take a deep breath, filling my lungs with the crispness outside, and step forward. My mind carries the warmth of Rome with me as I push aside the flap of my tent, ready to meet the chilly dawn and countless challenges that await. I step forward into the crisp air, fortified by the memories of home, as I embrace the day ahead with my mind sharp and clear, eager to guide my men through the trials awaiting us. The soft glow of the morning light begins to thread through the edges of my tent, illuminating the canvas with a gentle warmth. As I sit on the edge of my cot, I feel the remnants of last night's dreams slip away, like shadows retreating before the dawn. I draw in a steady breath, feeling the cool air expand within my lungs, a grounding contrast to the rush of anticipation fluttering in my chest. This moment of solitude is precious, a pause before the inevitable clamor of the day to come. With focused intention, I rise from my place of rest. I move toward the small basin on the makeshift table, the stark chill of the water refreshing as it splashes against the warmth of my skin. The sensation jolts me awake, each droplet awakening my senses as if the very essence of the morning is infused within that simple, cold element. I peer into the basin, watching as the ripples dance across the surface, disturbed by my careless movement. My reflection stares back, a man molded by responsibility and burden. The faint outlines of weariness are present beneath my eyes, yet they flicker with an unquenchable resolve. As I pat my face dry with a rough cloth, thoughts drift toward the embrace of the sun in Rome, where life thrived in the open air and laughter danced between the columns of marble. The vivid images swell within me, the hustle of merchants, the scent of baked bread mingling with the tang of olive oil, the warmth of the sun flooding across my face as I walk surrounded by throngs of vibrant life. I close my eyes for a moment longer, clinging to those brief, radiant memories before recalling my present task. With deliberate movements, I reach for the tunic hanging nearby, the fabric worn but familiar, encompassing me in its soft fibers. This attire is more than just clothing, it is an armor of identity, a fabric of responsibility. The moment it envelops me, I feel a surge of purpose ignite beneath my skin. It shapes my silhouette while reminding me of the lives behind me, men whose very futures reflect upon my shoulders. Next comes the weight of armor and leather straps as I fit them, piece by piece, around my form. Each clink echoes gently in the stillness, resonating like the steady heartbeat of the camp waking from its slumber. The cool metal settles down against my chest, wrapping me in the very essence of my duty. Each fit and fastening is a promise, not just to myself, but to every soldier who looks to me for direction. Their hope intertwines closely with my resolve. It forms a connection that is both binding and liberating. Yet the weight carries its share of calm, an equilibrium that anchors me amidst the chirps of birds and the soft movements beyond the flaps of my tent. I can hear the crackle of embers as men begin to stoke fires, the scent of wood smoke curling through the air, mingling with the fresh earth of dawn. My mind selects the melodies of the camp around me, the clatter of metal, the whispers of camaraderie. All these sounds weave together, creating a symphonic backdrop that inspires strength, unity, and an unrelenting spirit. As I finish strapping my armor, I take a moment to steady myself, reaching for the outer flap of the tent, prepared to embrace the day. Each movement drives home the truth of my existence here, a sentiment shared among my soldiers. Outside, the sun will greet me as a herald of new challenges and opportunities. I feel the sun's distant warmth teasing at the edges of my tent, beckoning me into the embrace of a day filled with promise and purpose. Stepping out, I'm enveloped by the vibrant din of the camp igniting all around me. Yet within that chaos lies a serene clarity, honoring the commitment I wear, not just in armor, but it is here, amidst the living tapestry of my men awakening, that I come alive within my role. Each sound, each whisper of wind through the trees, pulls me into the collective energy of our march ahead, as we breathe in unison with the formidable landscape that awaits us. As the first glimmers of light breach the edges of my tent, I step to my campaign desk. The coolness of the morning air brushes against my skin, sending a refreshing shiver down my spine, harmonizing with the soft rustle of my tunic as I move. I reach the desk, an intricately constructed piece made from rough-hewn timber, its surface littered with the tools of my trade, the maps that hold the promise of our day's journey. I smooth the parchment before me, my fingers grazing the intricate lines inked by dedicated hands. Each route is a story etched in symbols. They whisper of unknown forests and swift rivers, of the terrain we must navigate, and the challenges that seek to impede our advance. As the sun steadily climbs, its golden rays spill into the tent, pouring light over my meticulous arrangements, illuminating pathways, supply lines, and potential dangers. Shadows quiver at the fringes, momentarily dancing before surrendering to the day's embrace. It is not chaos that I feel, but a calm clarity, each symbol and marking unfolding like flowers in the warm light, revealing their purpose slowly. The cool morning air filled with the scent of dew invokes a sense of freshness, a newness to the day that complements the ideas forming in my mind. I inhale deeply, drawing in the aroma of the damp earth outside, the richness mingled with the parchment and ink. It's as if the land itself is speaking to me, guiding my thoughts, urging me to decipher its secrets. As I study the maps, I can envision my men, our legion, moving as a single entity through the winding woods. I see their faces, strong and determined, reflected in the inked pathways. The clank and rustle of armor seems to echo in my ears, a symphony of discipline that surrounds me. As if commanded by an unseen conductor, I feel the pull of their aspirations and fears. They seek guidance, assurance, and direction. With each strategic mark, I picture how the officers will rally the troops, their voices rising above the morning din, connecting us all like silken threads woven into a grand tapestry. My mind becomes like water, flowing around corners, adapting to the possibilities laid before me. I consider the supply lines, plotting where we shall forage, and how vital the success of each movement is, not just a matter of survival, but the very essence of our campaign that weeps for meticulous planning. Outside, the echo of awakened soldiers assumes a gentler cadence, the thrum of their whispered conversations wrapping around me like a warm blanket. The very fabric of our existence is woven from these moments, from the echoes of mundane rituals filled with purpose. I feel a grounding warmth settle in my chest, this calm before the storm offering a sacred silence that invites introspection. The sun now stretches higher, kissing the earth with its golden fingers, coaxing life out from the shadows. I trace the lines with my fingertips, noting the changes in elevation, the trepidation of what lies ahead. Yet, in this tranquil confrontation with the unknown, I find comfort. The maps transform from mere parchment into allies, no longer just ink and symbols but harbingers of the fate awaiting us. I fold the parchment with care, time seemingly suspended in the process. My mind, once abuzz with anxiety, now dances with a ballet of thoughts, elegantly tying together logistics and dreams. I realize that we are about to embrace the unknown, not with trepidation, but as companions ready for whatever sky our paths will lead us beneath. With one last glance at the maps, visions of my brothers at arms consume my imagination, united, undaunted, determined. I know deep within my soul that the day's work begins not just in clarity of thought, but in the strength of a collective heart. Today, our legacy will be penned not in ink, but in unity and courage as we step into the embrace of the sunlit woods together. Engaging with the scrolls, I delve into the logistics of supply and troop morale, each carefully inscribed detail drawing me deeper into the tapestry of our operation. The parchment, rough beneath my fingertips, feels like the pulse of our campaign, a tangible connection to the forces I guide. Even as I decipher the numbers and routes charted upon its surface, I can sense the weight of the information settling around me, much like the steadfast embrace of my armor, heavy but necessary, a constant reminder of my purpose. I catch a glimpse of Camp Lucius beyond the fabric walls of my tent, a sprawling testament to our collective will. The air buzzes with a quiet energy, and I feel the heartbeat of my men, their fates intertwined not merely with my plans, but with the very essence of their existence. They are not just soldiers, they are dreamers, striving for a future where valor paints our shared legacy. It is their wish for more than mere survival that fuels my resolve. I know they seek a leader who can envision a landscape where triumph is more than a fleeting promise. In my mind's eye, I picture lines of soldiers, their armor catching the early light as they march in unison across the undulating hills. Each footfall reverberates in harmony, a testament to their trained discipline and the camaraderie forged in the fires of determination. The sight of these men, focused and unwavering, sends a thrill coursing through me. filling me with the certainty that they are driven by purpose akin to the churning waters of the Tiber, relentless and unyielding. I pause to let thoughts unfurl like the gentle smoke rising from the campfires, mingling with the crisp morning air. The kitchens are alive with the crackle of flames and the clatter of iron pots, punctuated by the earthy aroma of stews simmering to warmth. I can almost hear their laughter weaving through the din, a reminder that even amidst the gravity of command, joy finds its place. My heart swells at the thought of my men bonding over shared meals, their spirits rising with each hearty bite. With resolve echoing in my chest, I return my focus to the scrolls, an eager anticipatory energy brewing within me. I map out our route, envisioning the pathways carved through the land, aware of the shifts in geography and terrain that we may face. Each detail is a vital thread woven into the larger fabric of our day. The logistics of supply lines will ensure sustenance to fuel our march, just as the threads of loyalty and courage hold us steadfast against external forces. I am the orchestrator of this intricate masterpiece, where every note must harmonize for us to prevail. As I commit to memory the rise and fall of each hillside and valley marked upon the parchment, a gentle breeze slips through the tent flaps, bringing with it the fresh essence of morning dew. It swirls around me softly, a reminder of nature's quiet influence, an invitation to breathe deeply and steady myself. The raucous symphony of morning gradually becomes a soothing backdrop, and I embrace the calm amidst my strategic engagement. Closing my eyes for a brief moment, I envision the journey ahead, my heart resolute. The balance of power, the pulse of morale, the steady rhythm of our purpose, it all begins here, within the silence of my thoughts woven with the anticipation vibrating through the camp. In this intimate space where my resolve meets the dreams of my men, I find clarity. I am anchored in the present, grounded by my duty to lead them into the embrace of the day, where every challenge can be met with courage, and every soldier knows he is part of something greater than himself. With a final glance around my tent, I allow the scrolls to settle into their places, focusing my thoughts with intent. I sense the awakening of my companions outside, tent flaps stirring in the soft breeze, the flicker of movement hinting at the lives poised to spring into action. Calming my thoughts, I prepare to translate the clarity of my planning into words and actions that will ignite their shared sense of purpose. Today, we do not march alone, we move as one, the embodiment of strategy forged in mutual strength and unwavering hope. As I allow my mind to roam through the undulating landscape, I visualize the terrain shifting beneath the weight of my thoughts. The lush forests, verdant and proud, rise to meet the clouds like sentinels guarding their secrets. The vibrant greens seem to whisper ancient stories, murmuring with a life all their own. The rustle of leaves serves as background music, an unbroken tune that stirs in me a sense of reverence for the land that holds both promise and peril. In the stillness of this morning, my thoughts weave through the rivers that wind like serpents, glistening under the tentative dawn light, a delicate tapestry of silvers and blues mirroring the sky. I can feel the faint pulse of these waters flowing through the very fabric of my plans, a vital current carrying the weight of our next movements. Each bend in the river draws my mind's eye further along, conjuring routes that might lead to victory or defeat, adventures waiting to be revealed by the unfolding day. Suddenly, a flicker of doubt stirs in my mind, thoughts of mutinies or morale dips, those shadows lurking at the edges of a leader's consciousness. Yet, like the rays of the sun breaking through the fading mists, I cast these fears aside. They dissipate, extinguished by the lighting of systematic planning. I remind myself that each route I uncover is not merely a line drawn upon parchment, but an opportunity blooming before me, rich with the potential for success. Feeling the coolness of the earth through my soles, I stand resolute in my command. The dew-kissed grass beneath me mimics the chill that resides in my core, grounding me as I mentally navigate our course through this terrain. I relish the breathing space provided by the crisp morning. It hums with the quiet anticipation of my troops awakening, each man rising to embrace. The day is like a note in a symphony, weaving into the greater harmony of purpose. Outside my tent, the soft muttering of voices begins to blend into the rich tapestry of sounds encompassing our camp. I close my eyes for just a moment, allowing this rhythm of morning movement to saturate my senses. An errant laugh bursts forth, bright and clear, rising above the muted conversations, an emblem of camaraderie ready to face the day ahead. This sense of unity, of shared purpose, becomes my anchor, reaffirming that my thoughts are intertwined with the hopes and dreams of each soldier who stands beneath this sky, my sky. The aroma of the campfire, faint but identifiable, wafts through the air, mingling with the scents of damp earth and newly roused foliage. It ignites an urgency within me to bring forth plans and strategies that will regard not only the land we traverse, but also the hearts and minds of the men who toil beside me. Our destinies are intricately woven together, and I feel the weight of that realization settle gently upon me. Opening my eyes, I see my surroundings come to life. The tendrils of smoke twist upward, curling into the brightening sky, and I am struck by the sight of familiar faces clad in weary yet steadfast expressions. Each soldier's posture hints at the strength built through shared endeavors, the resolve that grows in the face of adversity. I can see them begin their morning rituals, stoking the fires of renewal. My heart swells with gratitude for the bonds we forge in the crucible of conflict. I focus on my task, allowing my mind to direct its energy towards the logistics of our journey. The contours of the land draw me back, each hill and valley becoming a potential turning point in our campaign. The subtle anticipation in the air vibrates like a plucked string, resonating through me with a sense of purpose that spills over into the shared space of our camp. As I watch my men rouse, I settle deeper into my role, the confluence of thoughts creating a solid foundation for the day ahead. As their movements begin to synchronize, a stillness settles over my racing mind, one that fosters clarity and resolve. I can almost hear the faint echo of soldiers marching as I visualize the pathways we might take, the strategies we could unfold. Today is not just another day, it blossoms with possibilities, ripe for the taking. The murmured hopes of a legion echo in the gentle rustle of the trees, guiding me toward the unfolding journey ahead. With the dawn fully unfurling its brilliance across the sky, I step outside into the tranquil embrace of morning. The world unfolds around me, each detail sharpened by the cool air that wraps around my skin like a gentle caress. My eyes take in the sight of my men, still drowsy yet filled with an insatiable eagerness for the day ahead. Their faces are illuminated by the flickering fires, glowing softly against the backdrop of the dim morning light. In this moment, they become a living tapestry, each thread vibrant and unique, yet woven together into the intricate mosaic of our legion. I watch them shuffle sleepily, wrapped in layers of leather and wool designed to fend off the chill. The air is filled with the smoky tendrils of the fires, swirling and curling upward like the aspirations of these brave men. I can almost hear the warmth crackling in the hearth, an audible promise of sustenance and shared strength. As each soldier awakens, their spirits lift, and I sense the camaraderie returning as if it were a comforting blanket enveloping the camp, binding us all in our purpose. In the stillness of this moment, before the clamor of our daily duties takes charge, I take a deep breath, inhaling the mingled scents of wood smoke, dew-kissed grass, and the lingering aroma of last night's rations. My heart swells with respect for these men, their lives interwoven with mine. I observe their postures, shoulders that bore the weight of uncertainty the night before are begin to shift slowly, adopting a renewed resolve as they stretch and prepare for the work at hand. Each small motion speaks volumes. It reflects their acceptance of the challenges ahead, their anticipation palpable in the cool morning air. Across the camp, I catch snippets of conversation, laughter rising and falling like the gentle lilting of a song. The sounds blend harmoniously, punctuated by a distant clink of metal, perhaps a sword being unsheathed in preparation for the day, or the first of our comrades testing their armor. Already I can feel the rhythm of the camp stitching itself back together, the collective heartbeat of our legion thumping steadily with an urgency, a pulse captured in the delicate yet indomitable dance of morning routine. As I take a moment to simply breathe, I am filled with gratitude. My surroundings, the flickering fires, the rising mist, and the silhouettes of men leaning into their day, they echo the strength that comes not just from leading, but from sharing this journey with them. We are bound together by more than just duty or allegiance. We are woven into a shared destiny. Each whispered word, hearty laugh, and determined nod is a thread that adds to the fabric of our collective resolve. Before long, the camp will be alive with the actions of men preparing for the march ahead. Voices will rise like the dawn chorus, clarion calls of determination and hope, strengthening the fabric of camaraderie that stands sentinel around us. But for the moment, I remain a quiet observer, soaking in this peaceful, anticipatory stillness. And as I do so, I remind myself that it is in these moments of quiet reflection that true strength is birthed. The world within me mirrors the world around me, an awakening to the potential of a new day where possibilities stretch out like the sun's first rays, capturing the vast horizon before us. As the heart of our camp comes to life, I circle the cluster of tents, moving slowly, allowing the morning light to wash over me like a comforting blanket. The whisper of nature surrounds us, almost harmonizing with the waking world as the birds chirp their gentle morning melodies. A soft breeze brushes past me, carrying with it the earthy scent of dew-soaked grass and the remnants of last night's smoldering fires. I inhale deeply, letting the freshness invigorate my spirit and fill me with purpose. The sound of rattling armor grows louder, an orchestral collection of clinks and clatters melding together in a symphony of anticipation. Occasional laughter breaks through, bright and clear, like rays of sunlight piercing through the morning haze. It is a reminder that camaraderie thrives even in the face of looming uncertainty. I smile at the voices, each one a thread in the tapestry of our collective experience. Soon enough, these men will don their battle gear, leaving behind the drowsy remnants of sleep. As I draw closer, I observe morning rituals unfolding around me, simple meals being prepared over flickering fires, the scent of porridge mingling with the earthy notes of wood smoke. I spot a group of soldiers gathered around a fire, sharing stale bread and dipping it into a pot of steaming stew. Their faces, painted with the warmth of the flames, spark with the joyous energy of togetherness. Each bite they take nourishes their bodies as well as their spirits, a ritual as essential as the tightening of leather straps and the checking of swords. The sounds of swords being unsheathed echo, drawing my attention. I can feel the energy shift as warriors practice their movements, the metallic hiss a thrilling whisper of readiness. The crisp air carries the faint, gritty aroma of steel, reminding me of our purpose, a flicker of the daunting tasks that lie ahead. I pause in this moment, breathing it all in, allowing the harmony of the camp to settle into my bones. Cloaked in stillness, my heart fills with gratitude for these men who stand beside me, steadfast and brave. I see young faces and more weathered ones, each marked by the journey we share, united by a common thread of determination and sacrifice. In their camaraderie, I find strength, a gentle reminder that I am never alone on this battlefield of life. Each face is a reflection of loyalty and trust, and I feel the weight of leadership settle upon me, a comforting burden that fortifies my resolve. I observe their postures, noting how they straighten, shedding last night's fatigue, ready to engage with the day ahead. Each small movement speaks volumes, the way they tie off their sandals with confident precision, the gleam of determination in their eyes as they punch their fists against leather armor. In this ritual of awakening, I see the unfurling of potential, like the golden fingers of sunlight stretching across the landscape, offering promise and hope. In moments of silence amidst the excitement, I close my eyes briefly and let the world spin around me. The laughter still echoes, mingling with the crackling of the fires. And suddenly, I see a tableau unfold. Men from all walks of life, from different towns and villages, melding together into a single powerful force. In their camaraderie, they create an unbreakable bond, weaving their stories into a shared narrative that drives us onward. With my heart full of gratitude and my mind steadying itself, I know that I am not just a leader. I am part of a living fabric that encompasses courage, companionship, and an unwavering commitment to one another. Each day opens like a flower, and with it we bloom, fulfilling the promise of unity against the storm that may come. As the morning deepens, I hold tightly to this feeling, allowing it to guide my steps as I rejoin the pulse of our bustling camp, ready to embrace the day's unfolding. Returning to my desk, I let the world outside the flaps of my tent fade into a soft blur. Thoughts crystallize rather than scatter, drawing together like the strands of a finely woven tapestry. Each thread, a decision, each color, a possible path. I take in a deep breath, feeling the weight of responsibility grounding me, with both comfort and urgency. The day's tactical maneuvers visualize in my mind as I weave them into the established narrative of our campaign, a narrative I must guide with both wisdom and strength. As I rest my hands upon the cool surface of the wooden table, the delicate grain of the wood beneath my fingers feels reassuring. The tactile sensation allows me to focus, anchoring me in the present while the sounds of my men filter in from the outside, a symphony of routine punctuated by laughter, and the occasional shout echoing through the crisp air. Here, in this moment of solitude, isolated yet connected, I glean a sense of clarity amid the bustle that envelops my command. I hear the rhythmic hammering as a blacksmith readies weapons, the metallic clang ringing in harmony with the distant murmur of conversations, men discussing strategies, reminiscing. It is in this tranquility of thought that I prepare for the exertion to come, the labor of leadership heavy yet fulfilling. Each movement in the camp begins to resonate within me, a concert of discipline where I, the conductor, form the structure of our endeavors in this land not yet tamed. I can almost visualize the formations we will require, the strategies we need, coalescing like the dawn mist swirling around the legs of our stalwart horses. There is a calm certainty in my heart, an unwavering belief in the strength of my men, their resolve infused into the very soil beneath us. With a gentle flick of my wrist, I unroll one of the maps before me, its edges crinkled from use. I let my eyes trace the inked paths and symbols, the land laid bare before me like an open book, one ripe for adventure, conflict, and perhaps growth. My mind dances from each landmark to the next, considerations spinning into plans as I ponder the nuances of supply lines, the correlation between troop placements and their morale. The scent of parchment mingles with the fresh coolness of morning air seeping through the tent's flaps, creating a heady mix that seems to invigorate my spirit further. I can even detect the distant aroma of breakfast from the kitchen fires, a simple fare, perhaps porridge or bread, but nourishing nonetheless, fueling the purpose that steadies my soldiers. I can almost hear them stirring with anticipation, feeling a collective heartbeat that thrums with potential, with purpose. Amid this quiet preparation, an echo of a memory surfaces, a fragmented image of laughter shared among friends before the storm of war swept into my life. It stirs a warm feeling deep within, reminding me of what we fight for, the camaraderie that knits us together in times of both challenge and triumph. I silently vow to carry that spirit forward as we move through the labyrinthine landscapes awaiting us. The smooth surface of my newly inked quill glides across the parchment, dancing along with the thoughts spilling forth. I draw lines and notes, sketching possibilities of will and determination. The ink, dark and rich, flows like the Tiber around Rome, a river connecting identity, history, and hope. The very act of writing feels like breathing, a necessary rhythm in this concert where every note is critical, every pause intentional. At this hour, the world is balancing on the precipice of action. I reflect quietly, knowing all too well that every decision made here will ripple through the lives of so many, shaping fates woven into the fabric of this campaign. I take solace in the knowledge that, like an artist before a blank canvas, I wield the power to dictate our fate. In preparing for what lies ahead, I foster an unwavering sense of calm within myself, pulling from the deep reservoirs of strength that have been forged through trials endured. I place my quill down, taking a moment to let my thoughts settle, like autumn leaves dancing softly to the ground, resting in a gentle embrace. This is our moment, and as the light inches higher, touching the world with warmth, I gather my resolve once more. Today, we step forth, not merely as conquerors, but as united spirits on the precipice of destiny, ready to carve our path with conviction. As the sun rises higher, painting the skies with hues of orange and gold, I know the time for planning will soon yield to action. The horizon stretches before me, vast and promising, each wave of light filling the air with warmth as Mother Sun casts aside the shrouds of night. I gather my maps, my fingers tracing over the inked routes like a cartographer charting destiny, securing them tightly in my satchel, a steadfast companion that has borne witness to many endeavors. In this transformative moment, I savor the quiet push of air against my skin, invigorating and fresh, an embrace from the world waking around me. The gentle caress tells tales of the night's coolness, still lodged in the crevices of memory, but now giving way to the energy of the day. The whisper of a breeze carries the scent of dew-kissed earth, and each breath draws in the richness of the morning, a symphony of nature unfurling, with birdsong weaving through the atmosphere, punctuating the gentle rustling of leaves above. The rhythmic pulse of my legion's heart synchronizes with my own, the vibrations of movement swirling in the air, a tangible reminder of the lives intricately woven together in this shared journey. Each sound of boots scuffing against the soil, each rustle of fabric in motion, builds a tapestry of determination and camaraderie. Today, we march not just as conquerors, but as a unified force, bound by purpose, prepared to engage with destiny beneath a clear sky. As I step out of the confines of my command tent, the world unfolds in vibrant detail. The linen of my tunic dances lightly against my skin, the threads familiar and strong, just like the bonds we share within this legion. I feel grounded, my awareness heightened, every element in the environment whispering stories of the land and the days to come. I pause to take it all in, my eyes drawn to the way the early light bathes the camp in a golden glow. It's as if the sun itself recognizes the importance of this moment, highlighting my men in soft illumination, transforming them from mere soldiers into heroes of their own tales. A surge of gratitude wells within me as I observe the spirit of my soldiers. They stir with a quiet vigor, readying themselves for the day ahead. I see the camaraderie in their shared laughter, the way their voices rise and fall like the melody of a well-practiced tune. Together, they lift the weight of worry from one another's shoulders, the chaotic dance of uncertainty replaced with the synchronization of hope. I picture them at their finest, shoulders squared, heads held high, advancing in unison, a phalanx of resilience, the very essence of unity. My gaze shifts to the landscape beyond our camp, a canvas of lush greens and browns, merging like liquid earth beneath the rising sun. I can envision our path, winding through the trees, like the tributaries feeding into the great river. Each turn and bend in the landscape urges me, beckoning to explore the unknown with bravery. Somewhere out there lies the essence of our quest, calling forth the promise of adventure and the taste of victory, tinged with the bittersweet weight of sacrifice. As I make my way back to my desk, thoughts crystallize rather than scatter. The day's tactical maneuvers weave seamlessly into the fabric of our ongoing narrative, a narrative I must guide with both wisdom and strength. The coolness of the desk beneath my hands anchors me, grounding my thoughts as I draw the final yet vital details from the depths of my mind. In this tranquility, I prepare for the exertion to come, each heartbeat synchronizing with the resolute pulse of the camp. I inhale deeply once more, letting the surrounding elements converge within me. The warmth of the sunlight pulls me into its embrace. The anxious hum of life envelops me like a favorite cloak. I close my eyes for a fleeting moment, allowing the sensation of readiness to wash over me. Regardless of the challenges that may await just beyond the horizon, I am ready. My men await my voice, our fates interlinked like the intricate threads of fate, reaching towards the same star-swirled destiny, guiding us forth into this new day, as one cohesive entity, poised to carve our legend beneath an ever-watchful sky.